bring up my mock. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and guess every single pick of what the Giants might do. I'm not a draft guy. I'm not Mel Kiper. I don't use that much hairspray. But I have to say, I have been studying this week, only for about a week. But I took the liberty. I said to myself, if I'm going to really buckle down and talk draft, I have to finally do my own mocks. I started to do maybe 2 or 3 of them. And I'll be honest, I'm terrible. Terrible at mock drafts because once we start getting to those later rounds, I'm not going to pretend to know any of these kids whatsoever. Just going for positions. And I love the guys that think they know, like the 6th round pick out of fucking Army. They know everything about this guy. But I'm not going to pretend. So I gave myself credit because I said, okay, I'll do a full-fledged 7-round mock. It just so happened to be that when the mock, I don't know how this happened, but I had an unbelievable, almost all A's, A-plus graded mock. Somehow it happened. There were no trades involved. And so we're going to read off my mock draft right now. And by the way, if anybody wants to do this on their own, unlike the other sites that make you pay, NFLMockDraftDatabase.com. I'll plug them. That's a free plug. You can do an entire draft, 7-round trades, do what you want to do. They grade your picks. You don't got to pay for it. So that's what we're running off here. Now, this is my unbelievable draft, starting with the 25th pick for the New York Giants. With the 25th pick, I have the Giants selecting wide receiver Jordan Addison out of USC. Now, in the last few weeks, I'd say the Giants have been linked much more or like Addison much more than Flowers. He's, 5'11". He's only 173 pounds, but he looks like he plays a lot bigger. He's got a 4-star rating from ESPN. He's worked on his hands. I know when he was transferred over from Pitt, that was a problem initially early in his career with drops, but he's corrected that. He's got solid hands, of deep threat, which is what we were looking for. Runs routes, great at separation, which is another thing that Joe has hammered home that he's looking for in a wide receiver. You look at the guy's background, and it speaks for itself. I mean, if you're looking for, this guy's a Biletnikoff winner, all-American, all ACC first team. Everybody that talks about this kid, he's got an elite change of direction. He's pro-ready day one, a deep threat that the Giants have really lacked. And if I looking at all of these wide receivers, who's the guy that I feel most comfortable as a fan, just as a fan on draft night, if the card is red? And I have to say, I've visualized it, right? Trying to manifest it. Jordan Addison, to me, is the pick. Will he be there at 25? I don't know. It seems like Zay Flowers' stock is starting to drop a little bit as we get closer to the draft, and Johnson, like the kid from TCU, he's rising a little bit. So that'll be interesting to see, because I also think Addison's stock is rising. So if the Giants believe in Addison enough, they think he may come off the board a few spots early, could be something to watch out. But I'm going Jordan Addison, pick 1. And with no other first-round pick, at least on paper as of right now, the Giants will head into the second round. And by the way, the draft grade on that Jordan Addison pick was an A+. So we walk out, first round, A+ pick. Everybody's happy. Moving to the second round, 57th pick. And the 2023 NFL Draft, I have the New York Giants getting their center right here. Getting Joe Tippmann, center from Wisconsin, and finally getting their big boy, hopefully a future center for years to come. This guy, some people have him going late in the first round, could go first round, but he's, literally kind of trailing Schmitz as the second best center in the draft. 4 stars from various places like 24/7 Sports. Guy's all over. He's a monster. 6'6", 313 pounds. And I've seen some people say that his height actually is a disadvantage for a center, that he's got the body of a tackle. But I'm not going to pretend to be a guy that pays attention to meaty men too much. But to me, you get a 6'6", 300-some pound guy. I don't give a fuck where he's at on the front line. If he's there, that guy is a truck. And I'm running behind him, and he's protecting my quarterback. Outstanding pass blocking, outstanding run blocking. He's an all Big Ten center. Kid's just a monster, especially in his last year. Absolute monster. And if another thing that you like about centers, and I did like this about Feliciano, is after the play, he plays nasty. You know, he's going to the ground with these guys. I like that. I like a guy that plays mean. You need that out of your center. He's got a huge reputation amongst coaches and players. He's a locker room kid. People love this kid. He's very strong. 455-pound bench press, 635-pound squat. This guy, I mean, he's an animal. And I can see this guy anchoring down this offense as a 6'6" monster that will protect Daniel Jones, hopefully from years to come. So second pick on the board goes off the board, and we get our center with the pick of Joe Tippmann, and the grade comes in at an A+. Back-to-back A+. Unbelievable. And right there, so we've got our wide receiver, we've got our center, and so you look at the rest of the needs. Giants need some more help, obviously, in the secondary, more offensive line help, more linebackers, more pass rushers. And so we're going to rush right into the next pick. Let's go right into the third round. And with the 89th pick in the NFL, in the 2023 NFL Draft, I have the New York Football Giants selecting their safety, another safety right here, as they get Jordan Battle from Alabama. Can you believe this draft? Another 4-star recruit right here, a guy 4 stars from ESPN, 24/7 Sports, Rivals, you name it. As of all 3 picks so far, this kid right here, best rated out of all 3 of them. He's been on a lot of first, second, third, All-American, you name it. He's been on every one of those lists. Unfortunately for him, he's been really a part of such a talented Alabama core the last few years that his name should probably be way more prominent than what it is right now. He's a physical safety. By the way, 6'1", 209 pounds, plays very, very tough, very smart in the box. Another kid can go all over the field, a locker room kid, has very, very smart football instincts and a high IQ. And to me, you pair this guy up here for the next few years with Xavier McKinney, and you're talking about 2 anchors in the back of that secondary. You got a guy that can come up and play the run if need be. So I can't help but think right here, if the Giants could walk out with a number 1 wide receiver, their center, and then get more help in the backfield with a guy like Jordan Battle, that's my pick. So Jordan Battle, our third pick, and by the way, A+. First 3 picks, A+. Right now, I can retire. Gettleman's never had a better draft than this. I am the greatest Madden GM of all time. Moving right along, we're just getting started. We're going right into the 4th round. And with the 128th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, I have the New York Football Giants going big time here, taking an edge rusher here with Isaiah McGuire from Missouri. And I got him at 6'4", 268 pounds. He's known to have a huge burst off the line. He's a big kid, good body, possesses a ton of strength, high motor, high IQ, and would be just another body that we have back there on the edge with what I already start to think could be, if healthy, a strong point of this Giants defense is our pass rush coming into 2023. I would love to add a kid like Isaiah McGuire right here in the 4th round out of Missouri. The grade comes in A. That's fine by me. Not an A+ this time. Our string of A+ is broken, but we still walk away with an A. That's 4 picks, 4 A's, covering again wide receiver, center, safety, edge rush. Now we head into the next round, and we are going balls out again here. One more need. We haven't addressed the secondary. We haven't addressed the defensive backs, Let's do that now. With the 160th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, I have the New York Football Giants selected cornerback CORY TRICE of Purdue. You want to talk about an interesting cornerback here? Here's a 6'3" kid, 206 pounds. A tackling machine, 3-star athlete. This kid has had a, really interesting start to his career. He's a guy, to me, not going to be that physical corner, but he's that guy that can stay put with some of these faster wide receivers that we have in this division. And a nice option here out of the 5th round. And for that pick, the CORY TRICE pick, the 160th pick, we're walking away with another A+. That's 4 A+s and 1 A in our first 5 picks. Now, these last few picks here, I'm not going to go in depth to every single one of these guys, but you can see where my mindset was. Got the first corner off the board there for us, but I followed it up here again in the next pick. With the 172nd pick in the NFL Draft, I have us taking a cornerback out of Louisville, Chuck Clark. Now, back-to-back corners here, that kind of sews up where we'll see what happens with Adoree Jackson next year. I would be kind of surprised to see him next year in blue. So the Giants here need to hit on one or a couple of these corners here. We need more cornerback depth here. I think that's a nice pickup, by the way. That's a B+. Our lowest grade so far. We only got 2 Bs out of this entire draft. And Cottrell gets a B+ here. But we bounce back here with this 209th pick in the NFL Draft. You didn't think I was going to leave out the tight end, did you? Here comes our first tight end on the board for the Giants draft board. Davis Allen, tight end out of Clemson, A+. This is a big kid, 6'6", 245 pounds. Big boy coming out. He's got great hands, great in the short receiving game. I can see this guy being a complementary to maybe Bellinger, and hopefully with Waller on the field. You get a 3 tight end set here. We need more big tight ends on this team. I like this out of Clemson. Really productive tight end. And the thing about him, the reason why I have him selected here for the Giants is with this offense and with Jones, his natural ability to go all over the field as a 6'6" tight end if needed, I think could open up the passing game even more for Danny Dimes in year 2 of the Mike Kafka offense. So he's got weapons galore. We just took another one there. That's an A+ pick. Davis Allen out of Clemson with the 209th pick. Coming up next, our last A+ pick. We're going on the other side of the ball again as we take Cam Jones, linebacker out of Indiana, back to the Big Ten. 6'1", 226-pound linebacker here. Could be a blitzing linebacker. Can almost act as another edge rusher, but can also keep up with the tight ends. Needed some more depth in the linebacker area, and I walked out of this one with another A+ pick with the Cam Jones selection. And so here's the interesting thing. I somehow did not get the last pick in the draft. So my last pick is another interior offensive lineman. I go Anthony Bradford at this 243rd pick, and that is a B+. I wanted more offensive line depth. So I don't know what happened to my last pick, but to recap, I had 9 picks instead of 10. I don't know what happened, Joe. I'm sorry. We got Jordan Addison, A+, wide receiver. Joe Tippmann, A+, center, Wisconsin. Jordan Battle, Alabama safety, A+. Isaiah McGuire, edge rush, A, out of Missouri. CORY TRICE, A+, cornerback out of Purdue. Chuck Clark, the cornerback out of Louisville, B+. Davis Allen, the big tight end out of Clemson, A+. Cam Jones, my do-everything linebacker out of Indiana, A+. And I ended it here with Anthony Bradford from LSU, offensive lineman, B+. So, look, I don't do a lot of mocks. I don't pretend to be Mel Kiper. But what an impressive mock. This is why I couldn't do another mock. Because how are you going to get any better than that?